We have a very love and hate relationship with fear, but sometimes we go seeking for fear, and there are times where fear limits us from reaching our potential. But we need fear for our society to function. We need to be fearful of consequences. But when does it get too much? So let's talk about that.
Step 2. Now recall 5 situations from your life, so somewhere in the past, where you were scared of something or you are fearful, and now you are not. They can be as small as you want, and you can go as far back in your life as possible. For example, so when I was 4, I was bitten by a dog. So growing up, I was really scared of dogs. Step 3. Now recall back, how did you get over those fears? So the process. What exactly happened? How did you get over it? The intent of this step is to develop a personal code. We'll go back and we'll think about how did we overcome, what exactly happened, what were the steps, what exactly was the process, how did we get over those 5 years? Then we will take the lessons learned and turn those lessons learned into a life code. So for example, one of my fears, personal fears, was, like I mentioned, I was scared of dogs. I was bitten by a dog around age 4. Since then, I have been scared of dogs. So at age 8, I was on my bike and I was just standing around chilling, and this dog came close to me, and dog just wanted to play. But my frontal cortex was like, whoa, this is danger, and amygdala took over.
Run, Forrest, run! Run, Forrest!
And it's like, run! So it was fight or flight. I started running. And this dog started chasing me, and dog was just maybe thinking I was just playing, or guess, like, I don't know. Dog started chasing me and I fell. And this dog came, and as I was lying on the ground, dog started barking at me. At that moment, I started crying. And suddenly, I screamed back at the dog with every single thing I had. To my shock, dog ran away. Since that moment, it took few years for me to get over my fear of dogs, but that was a learning moment for me, and that was also a turning moment which I'll recall for the rest of my life. That's exactly how resilience is built. What we do is we think about our past experiences. They could be small, big, and as long as we remember how we got over those things. Now looking back at those situations, now we can recall, we are like, okay, we overcome this. It seemed to be so monumental at that moment, but we are no longer fearful of that thing. So when we look back at something, it seems so minor, we can use some of those lessons learned in current state, and then we can keep going forward. This is the recipe for building resilience in your life. So from these past experiences, I created my own code, and I kept it super minimal, super simple. My code is, I'm purposeful, creative, and disciplined. And I use these 3 qualities, and these 3 themes were present in different areas or different situations. So as you go through your 5 fears, or it could be more than 5, as you write down those fears and how you got over it, there'll be lessons learned, or there'll be themes, and then you can identify with some of the themes that you use mostly. So these are kind of like our tools we use basically in our daily lives to get over some of the fears and obstacles. Step 4, separate the end goal, the process, and the mission. What happens is, if we are scared about something, we start to think about the end goal and then the process, how we're gonna get there. Identify, write those down. Now let's talk about mission. We are always thinking about the end goal. So if our end goal is to lose weight or to start a business, and we are fearful of the process, how we're gonna get there, we don't know this is gonna happen, we have to work 90 hours a week, or whatever the process for you is. So we are scared of that. We put so much emphasis on the end goal that we don't even start. What happens with mission is, if you go with the mindset, let's say I want to lose weight or start a business, because of, and mission can be greater, because the end goal that you're going towards, that's the strategy, and the mission is much higher. So strategies to get to the mission can fail. However, there are multiple strategies you can apply to get to your mission. So for example, starting my own business, let's say, I'm scared because my business will fail. I will lose everything. I will be on the streets. What I'll do is I will identify a goal. So for me, that goal would be to help out the neglected kids across the world. So those kids, they are our future. I want to help them out. How do I get there? That's it. Doesn't have to be business. Maybe I can work for UNICEF. There are multiple ways to achieve your mission. Mission has to be something for others, has to provide value to others. Step number 5, awareness of the moment and changing your state. Awareness is when fear has taken over you. Understanding, is this perceived fear or is this a real threat? First of all, we have to create the separation. Once you have created the separation, let's say it's perceived. It's based on our last step, which is we are fearful of the end goal and the process. Now we need to be aware in the moment. There's numerous studies done about mindfulness. Awareness of the moment is how can you truly be in that moment. And in this moment, I'm not asking you to do meditation or something because I know I've been there. It's hard to even focus on meditation when your brain is thinking about numerous things or you are fearful about all these issues. One thing I found very effective is find one object that you can carry with you all the time. When you are out and about, this should be something you can keep in your pocket, you can take it out and you can be in the moment. So I have this rock. Just reminds me of, whenever I look at this rock, it reminds me of brain or the heart. If I have any kind of feeling, negative feeling like fear or certain kind of emotion which is negative, what I do is I carry this rock with me and I take it out. As I look at the details and the lines and everything that this rock has, all the ridges and everything, my mind slowly starts to fade away from the problem and starts to focus on this. It's very similar to just like right now camera is focusing on this rock and right now it's focusing on me. That's the beauty of our brain. What we focus on, that's what brain gets us. If we are constantly thinking about our fears, problems, what's happening is our focus, our lens focus is just on that problem or that issue, and every single thing else is a blur. Second thing we wanted to accomplish in this step was to change our state. So by that I mean our physical state. If you're feeling anxious, if you're feeling fearful, first thing we can do is change the state completely, and that too by doing something physical. Research shows when we perform any kind of physical task, so it could be exercise. What I do is if I'm feeling anxious, right now we moved our offices from where I used to be in downtown where we could go for a walk easily, there were parks. Right now my workplace is far, so there's not much to go around. You can't really step out, especially right now in Canada, it's winter. In a private area, if I can do push-ups, that changes my state. Because exercise shows it creates endorphins, which are happy hormones. And when endorphins are released, what they do is they also create something called BDNF, which is a neuroprotective hormone. It's up to us if you want to change our mindset or not. If you have an office, you can do that. You're working from home, you can do push-ups. There are multiple magnitude of things. Just go for a walk. And whatever you decide to get, like a rock or anything that'll get you into that moment, just focus on that. Thanks a lot for tuning in, guys. If you found value in this episode and if you think someone else can benefit, share this video, be the catalyst.